Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today I'll be taking you through a week in our lives. Okay folks, we are still kind of getting back into the groove of things with baby Firefly here. And yeah, so I'm just gonna be taking you guys along for a week in our lives. We've started out the morning pretty simply, woke up as early as I could, probably around 7:30. We did our morning davening, morning prayers. I'm about to dive in to my morning learning, and then I will get set up for school for the day because we do start our school week on Sundays. The kids are all still sleeping, minus this guy who is probably due for a nap any minute, but he has been super fussy this morning. I don't think he's gonna let me put him down, but that's okay because I'm still hands-free with my baby wrap. Okay, but yeah, I gotta get set up for school today, kind of prep a little bit for the week, and then we'll just kind of get our day started. But I'm looking forward to a slow start today, and I'm totally okay if today is super duper relaxed. It's also really cloudy outside. It's supposed to rain a lot this week, and I am beyond excited about that because it has not rained here in a very long time. It's only just started to like rain a little bit here again, and yeah, our grass needs it, and I'm sure the whole area really needs the rain. So I am really excited. And anyways, enough about the weather. Let's get to our day. The book that I am learning, which is Yeshaya, the book of Isaiah, and I just sort of rocked baby Firefly there while I was wearing him, hoping to get him to sleep, which I did, so that was fantastic, and I got through my chapter for today. And then the boys started to wake up, and a little dude here helped me set up for school for the day, hanging up our schedule and putting out our morning menus, which is how we start our days. Meanwhile, my oldest was in the kitchen making breakfast for everybody. He was making these granola bites, which are super fun for him to make. He loves doing this, and they're really good, and everybody enjoys eating them, which is always a plus. And then little dude came in and helped me around the kitchen a little bit, just emptying the dishwasher while we just kind of all did some straightening up. It was sort of like chore time early for all of us while we waited for my daughter to wake up. And when she was there, we all got started on school. We got through most of our morning stuff, but not quite everything, but I decided to go ahead and break for lunch, even though we still had science listed as a morning lesson, but that's okay. We could do it in the afternoon. It was getting towards lunchtime, and I wanted to go ahead and get everybody fed. Lunch was celery with peanut butter and raisins, some little brownie bites left over from Shabbat, some smoked salmon, and some grapes, except for one child who had cashews because he did not want grapes. After lunch, we tried to get back to our science lesson, so we got all set up for that and got started, except we had a very fussy baby Firefly. So I ended up taking a break and putting him down for an afternoon nap. After getting baby Firefly down for a nap, we were able to dive back into our science lesson, which is all about bird watching, and that was so much fun as that is one of my favorite hobbies. This is a great example today of how we just kind of roll with it with our routine and our lessons, how if we need to take a break to put the baby down, we do. If we need to push off a lesson to the afternoon instead of the morning, we do. Just kind of whatever needs to happen to make our day work, we just kind of roll with it. So after we finished with science, we just kind of moved on to the rest of our lessons. We had some handwriting, some math, a few other things, and we just kind of got all those school stuff knocked out and done. At one point in the middle of lessons, the kids decided that they just had to have tea, so we did. They made themselves their own tea. I just kind of stood back and took a deep breath and let them handle it, even though the teacups were fuller than I would have liked, and children were pouring milk from a very full milk container that I normally would not let them do, but this is all learning for all of us, so it worked out just fine. Okay, so school is over and I have to admit I'm a little bit relieved. So the kids are off playing right now. Baby Firefly is still at his nap and I am gonna take advantage of just sitting here and relaxing a bit myself. We just sort of had a little bit of a rough start to the day, I think, with Baby Firefly being so fussy, and I just kind of got like a little bit stressed out, and that just kind of, the whole thing, it just sort of spiraled, you know, into me not reacting as well as I would like to certain things. And so anyways, I'm glad I'm gonna be able to sit here and just relax and kind of do nothing here for a little bit. So that is what I am going to do until Baby Firefly wakes up, and I'll check back with you guys later when something more interesting is happening. All right, now we're getting towards the end of the day. It's about 6:30 right now, and I'm about to make dinner. I'm gonna make some honey mustard salmon, super easy, and the oven's already preheated, so it'll be done in a flash, which is what we need because we are all tired, and I am thinking early bedtime tonight. Other than that, the rest of the afternoon has just been a lot of laundry and cleaning up the house from Shabbat, which was yesterday, and friends just stopped by to drop off a baby gift and hang out for a few minutes. And yeah, so I'm beat. I'm done. So anyways, I'm gonna make that salmon real quick and then we'll move on to tomorrow. All right, so this recipe is so super easy and it is a family favorite here for us. I make my own honey mustard, which is literally just honey and mustard. Now, normally I would use Dijon mustard, like kind of that spicy, more coarse ground mustard, but all I had was this like regular yellow mustard. So I decided to try to go ahead and make it with that. It ended up being a little bit too sweet for my taste. So I added in a dollop of mayonnaise to kind of mellow everything out, and that worked out brilliantly. So once I had all that mixed together, I just put it on top of this giant piece of salmon that I had thawed out from the freezer earlier today, and then I put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 18 minutes, and it was absolutely perfect. To go with that, I just heated up some rice that was left over from Shabbat, and yeah, dinner was ready in less than 20 minutes from start to finish. All right, so the kids are eating their dinner right now and I'm about to dive into mine, and then that is gonna be a day for us. But don't go anywhere because I'll be back in just a few moments with tomorrow. It rained last night, you guys. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Okay, so we're all like in bed, but nobody's asleep yet. And then it just starts like pouring. Like there wasn't like a little drizzle first. No, it was just like an outpouring from the skies and just like rain dumped on the ground. And the kids all come running out of their rooms. I mean, they were acting like it was snowing or something. They were so excited to see the rain. And yeah, it was great. We had a great rain last night. It's still drizzling out there now. It's still dark. It's supposed to be like drizzly and stuff kind of all day. So I'm kind of excited about that. As much as I love the sunshine, I really love kind of a dreary rainy day as well. So I don't know, I like the change. I like when it just change of pace, and it's just been sunny, sunny, sunny for days and days. So this is kind of exciting. All right. I have got 2 out of 4 awake right now. I'm waiting for the other 2 to get up, and then we will get started on school. Though I will probably get started on an individual lesson with the one who is awake right now. Just because we can, and why not get ahead a little bit? If I've got a little extra time this afternoon to myself, that is always good. Today should be a pretty easy day overall, not much going on, but let's go do the things. So it was my oldest who was out, and so we decided to work on our math lesson together so we'd get ahead on the afternoon. And he asked if he could have tea with his math. No problem there. So he made himself some tea for while he worked on his math. And we just kind of got to work on that, and while we waited for everybody else to wake up. Once the other kids were awake and had had breakfast and were all ready to start the day, we just got started on our morning lessons together. They're all group lessons in the morning, so we all work together on things like poetry and parsha and history. So they got to do some painting with history, which they really enjoyed while I read aloud our chapter. The paintings are always relevant to what I'm reading in our history book, so that's always really fun for the kids. It keeps them engaged and it's kind of reinforcing what I am reading. And of course, the reading itself is really fun. Story of the World that we use for our history is a very engaging history text. After those morning lessons were finished, we got to work in the kitchen doing some emptying the dishwasher and some laundry, just kind of working together on some chores that needed to get done here around the house. All right, so morning school is done and part of our afternoon too, since we knocked some of that out earlier. So now we just have a little bit to do this afternoon of our individual lessons, but first I am making some lunch. So for the kids, I'm making some pasta, and once I get that going, I'm gonna make some chicken for myself. Just keeping things super simple here for lunch today. After lunch was over, I got to snuggle baby Firefly for a little bit after he had woken up from a nap, while my son took our dog for a short walk, and then we got back to work on our afternoon lessons. Our afternoon lessons were all individual lessons, though I did end up having a few of them going at the same time to help the time go by a little bit faster. All right, so I think that's pretty much gonna be a day for us here. We have finished up our afternoon lessons and now everybody's just kind of doing their own thing. My middle two kids are playing a fairy game, and there's also some Oregon Trail stuff happening. And then my oldest is working on learning to write a new language that he found in a book that he has been reading. So this has been super fun today. So I'm totally okay with these afternoon pursuits. I think these are super fun quality uses of time. And for myself, I need to do a little bit of online shopping, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I wanted to get some of the books for the learning program that I'm doing, the Naomi, and I also needed to get a wedding present for a close friend of ours, and then I wanted to find a book that I could use as a Commonplace book for myself. So that's kind of what's happening the rest of the day. So we'll go ahead and call today a close here, but don't go anywhere because I'll be back in just a few moments with tomorrow. Okay, so I woke up this morning, brought baby Firefly out, and he was completely not having it. So I put him back to bed, and then I came back out, and I have had the morning to myself since then, which is kind of amazing. I haven't had that in a while. So I was able to sit and do my davening, my prayers. I was able to work on a journal page that I had been trying to finish up. I have this book where I sort of journal art journal-ish, whatever. I don't know, like I sketch and I write words all about our homeschool journey, starting from like back before we even started school. So I've got that book, and I had to work still on last year's page that I hadn't done yet because we've had a lot going on around here. And then I was able to check my planner to see what we had going on today. And then I was able to put a quote into my Commonplace book. Okay, so I mentioned yesterday that I was looking for a Commonplace book, and then I actually found one here in the house, so I didn't have to order one. So that was pretty fantastic. So I've been working on that here. A Commonplace, by the way, for those of you who don't know, a Commonplace book, it's basically a book where you just write stuff down in. It's not like a journal or anything like that. It's more like when you find a quote that you don't want to forget, or a poem, or whatever, like an idea, something you don't want to forget, you'll put it in your Commonplace book. So I've been putting some quotes in there that I don't want to forget, or that I may want to reference back to, or things like that, and then some thoughts and ideas and things. So that's kind of what I've been doing in there, and I've really been enjoying that. Okay, so for now the kids are starting to wake up. It's a very short school day for us. I'm actually not going to film the school day at all today. I'm just going to wait and pick up later on, late morning this afternoon, when we're actually going out and doing things, because I feel like I've filmed enough school in this video already, so we'll skip that part this morning. But the kids are starting to wake up, so we will probably be starting school soon and then moving on with our day. So, all right, I will take you along once things start to get more interesting. After we finished all of our schoolwork for the day, I started working on putting our lunches together to go on a picnic. I started out with some grilled cheese sandwiches for everybody, and then some crackers, and then some little skewers with fruit on them, a couple with blueberry and a couple with grapes, and then a little container of M&Ms for dessert. And a few more snacks. I added some Pirate's Booty and a Clementina orange to each box. I like to do a lot of easy grab-and-go snacky type foods at the park for picnics, because that's what my kids are usually doing, grabbing and running off. All right, then I started putting together my lunch. So mine was completely different from the kids. I started off by adding in some leftover grilled chicken that I had made yesterday, and then I added in some of my husband's homemade tahina sauce, which is just amazing. And then I just filled out the rest of the box there with some veggies. I put in some cucumbers, some baby carrots, and I added in some blueberries for dessert. I decided I still had a little more room on the bottom, so I tossed in some cherry tomatoes as well. All right, with our lunches packed up, we were ready to head out to the park. All right, so we did finally make it to the park. We were only about an hour later than I wanted to be here, and not too many people cried. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, but we did make it. We're all eating our lunches right now, and we've got some friends who will be joining us soon. I'm glad. I plan on getting here early because at least I'm still not late. This is, by the way, the first time that I have been out of the house with all 4 kids and not my husband. So, yay. I have survived so far. All right, so we're gonna enjoy some fun time at the park, and I'll check back with you guys in a bit. So we were not there too long before it started to rain, and then it started to pour, and then it would rain and it'd clear up for a minute, but mostly just a lot of rain. The kids got wet pretty quick and muddy, so we just decided to go ahead and stay and enjoy it. Whew, okay, we are home. The kids got a little bit muddy and a little bit wet. And by a little bit, I mean a lot, but that's okay. So they are taking turns hopping in the shower. I just took a shower myself, and that's pretty much it. I'm about to go off to a doctor's appointment, and I'll be taking baby Firefly with me, who, by the way, does not love it when the car stops. And that is the worst thing, just period right now, is when I'm driving with him and we're like stopped at a red light or something like that, and he just starts screaming, crying, and there is nothing that I can do. It's not like I can pop out of the car and feed him or pick him up or anything like that. Like, I'm driving, I'm at a red light. So that stinks. just thought that I would share that. But we did make it out on this first outing, me and 4 kids alone. We made it out, we made it back, we did good. Everything was fine. So now I'm just gonna take one, just baby Firefly, with me to the doctor, and then that's it for tonight. So I will call today a close, but don't go anywhere because I'll be back in just a few moments with tomorrow. Good morning and happy day to you. All right, we are here in a new day and it's a little bit later in the morning. I've gotten a lot done so far and I'm pretty stoked about that. So I woke up this morning, did my morning prayers, kind of my morning routine stuff. I had a smoothie for breakfast, so delicious. I got started on baking bread because my husband was still home. So he handled baby Firefly while I worked on that. Because that's like the hard part, is that first, like kneading the dough to get it done. Like that's when I really don't want to get interrupted and I really can't hold a baby while I do it. So now I should be good to go for the rest of the day. I've got two of my boys are awake. My daughter's still asleep, but we're gonna get started on some school here pretty soon anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. After a really busy day like yesterday, today is going to be a home day. So yeah, I think so. Well, we might go to a friend's house later. I don't know. But it won't be anything crazy. We won't be getting in the car. So anyways, that's where we're at right now. And I'll just take you guys along and we'll see what happens. I went ahead and got started on the afternoon lessons with my boys who were awake, so we could go ahead and knock that out. And that went really well. It was nice to just get that done nice and early this morning since they were both up pretty early considering. We went ahead and we covered math and handwriting, and we did some chores and little things like that around the house, just kind of getting things done. All right, so we ended up finishing all the afternoon lessons for the boys. So all of their individual lessons are done. My daughter is still asleep, so we were just kind of postponing things. It's only like 10:30, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. We still have plenty of time to get done the morning lessons this morning. And then this afternoon should be easy because it'll just be her. So that is where we're at right now. The dough has risen. Check this out. So yeah, my dough for the challah has risen really nicely. I'm really excited about that. And I've got some salmon here thawing on the counter for dinner tonight. It was on sale, so we're doing that a bunch this week. I don't know, I'm just gonna mess with the dough a little bit and put some dishes away and just kind of kill some time while I'm waiting for my daughter to wake up and just sort of get some things done here around the house. Do you ever feel like you need an entire day just to sort of catch up on things around the house? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like that today. There just seems to be so many little things that are piling up. Now, normally this day would be Friday for me, but as Friday is still a couple of days off, I'm kind of feeling like, not that I'm overwhelmed, but that if I let this go any longer, I would get overwhelmed. So I'm very glad I stayed up last night and put the kitchen to bed, but there's still stuff to do around here. So I'm putting away the dishes that I had washed last night. I'm working on the bread. I'm putting the laundry away. As you can see, my daughter did wake up and she's helping with the laundry. So is my son. And yeah, we're just trying to pick up around the house and get this laundry at least a little bit tackled, even if we don't get it all done. But yeah, I just kind of needed to catch up a little bit. The kids also spent some time working together on their own on some of their morning lessons, like all the morning time stuff that we were doing. So pretty much all I have left is reading out loud to them. So that's pretty exciting because that is my favorite part of our school day. Baby Firefly went back and forth between me wearing him and him laying down and resting, or him being in his swing, or the kids playing with him, so I still had plenty of hands-free time to get stuff done today. Alright, so things have been a little bit crazy and hectic around here, but I thought I would just check in real quick, let you know what's going on. Alright, so the bread is doing great. I've got some in the oven, some more loaves on the counter ready to go, and check this out. Some are done. And how pretty is it? It's so pretty. Alright, so the kids are playing right now. They've already helped me out a lot around the house doing things like laundry and taking trash out and things like that. So I'm done with them for the day. There's a little bit more that I want to do for school today, but it's all read aloud stuff. So we are going to do that during lunch, which is back here cooking macaroni and cheese. And that's all that I know right now. So, okay. So I'm gonna get back to it and check back with you guys here in a bit. So the kids enjoyed their lunches, and then when we were finished with that, which included our reading, we went on to just do our individual afternoon pursuits. My son was working on his puzzle, the little kids were doing a lot of playing together, and I got to finish baking the bread. Okay folks, so I think you saw this week how a homeschool week can kind of go from being absolutely perfectly how I planned it to not at all how I planned it, but still getting everything done. And that's really what matters. So some weeks are just like this and some weeks aren't, so that's okay. But anyways, it is late afternoon now. We're getting on towards time for me to start thinking about making dinner, and my plan is to just put some teriyaki sauce on top of that big piece of salmon, put it in the oven, and then serve that with some rice for dinner. So keeping that pretty simple. It's another meal that my kids absolutely love, and my husband too. So it should be a big hit all around. We should be able to either knock out that whole piece of salmon, or we'll have some leftovers tomorrow like we did with the other fish. So anyways, that is really it here for today. So I will go ahead and call this video a close, but thank you all so very much for being here. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see. And if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. I would really love to see you here again. And last but not least, please drop me a comment down below. That is another way that you can help my channel out a lot. The algorithm loves comments down there. So please drop me a comment, let me know how your week is going, what's going on with you. Let's get that conversation going. All right, and with that, I will call this video a close. So thank you all so much for being here. As always, I super appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. Our dinner now. I'm about to dive into mine and shopping. I need to get a wedding present. So for myself, oh my goodness. Why can I not make words today? He shrugged at me. All right, and I think that's gonna be pretty much a day for us here. Now I should be good to go for the rest of the day. Blah, can't get the words out. So yeah. Oh. Yeah, you were quiet till I hit the button.